Hello and welcome to the weekly update with the Urban Farmer. I'm going to walk you through my setup here and discuss a couple different topics, and we'll go from there. So this is the setup that I have right now. It's about a week old, and what I have is a variety of planting beds for winter greens primarily. So I'm going to walk you through the different setups that I have and the different plants that I'm growing. So over here you can see the different frames that I've constructed for the tops of these beds. The first material I started using was wooden molding from the Home Depot. That cost me about $2.09 for a 10-foot piece of bendable wooden molding. So I used a couple different methods to construct those shelters, and this is also using 4mm clear plastic that I used on my greenhouse. So I was just reusing the material that I had left over. So here you can see that I tried to do one frame with two pieces going the length of the bed, constructing just a basic wooden frame and then applying the wooden molding on top of that in an arch pattern, and then using the plastic. So as you can see that it's holding its shape all right. It's going to be fine, it'll work, but it's not the most beautiful or most eye-catching shelter, but it'll work. And this material is also the cheapest that I found to be able to provide something as flexible in order to keep up this frame. But what I didn't like about this is that it just seemed to be caving in on itself, and the molding doesn't seem to have itself really fit into the frame. So that led me to this next experiment, where I used the same wooden molding. I had one 10-foot piece left over, and then I did two loops on either end and then attached a centerpiece in order to provide support. And this one I really like. It seems to work really well, and the same type of basic wooden frame construction. And so then finally, after that, I decided that I was going to investigate the PVC. And so what I found with PVC is that this is very flexible, 400 psi, and it seems to work really well as far as just being able to attach it to the frame. So that's definitely something I've enjoyed finding out, is just using different materials. And this is a little more expensive. It's about $2.64 for a 10-foot piece. And this is one of those pieces that pretty much just cut it in half. So here are the beds. So this is the first bed that was started, and it has some spinach popping up and also some Swiss chard there in the front. So that guy was just planted about a little over a week ago, so it still has plenty of greens coming up, and we'll see what else is in there. There's some lettuce and other things, but just in order to see how it's going to come up and just kind of learn from it. So I try to just pretty much go with the time, the money, and the materials that I have and see what I can get. So this is my next bed. This has some collard greens and then also some other collards that were planted in here. And then another planter with nothing coming up yet. It's just been planted. It's about a week old too. So this will be coming up. Now over here I have a what I'm calling a quasi sunbox. And one of the resources that I've been enjoying quite a bit is this book, The Square Foot Gardening Manual, by Mel Bartholomew, and he has a lot of literature out, a lot of different basic concepts of the square foot, but just being able to do things with less space, less time, and less money. And so one of the ideas that he has is for a winter green sun box. It's just taking an old storm window and attaching it to the top of a box frame. But what I've done here is I've just taken a simple wooden frame and then attached plastic on top of it, and actually this whole thing is just going to lift off right here. So this is the top of the sunbox, and this is inside of the sunbox. So there's plenty of room for this. We got lettuce in here, spinach on the right, and then also some Swiss chard here. So this is just going to allow it to have plenty of space, plenty of sunlight, and just messing around with different space. I really like this setup because it doesn't take up much space at all, and a family too or something, a couple could easily grow greens in here and have stuff to eat, fresh stuff to eat. So I'm always interested in just experimenting with different materials, different ideas, and just checking out the results. So again, like I said, I really like this idea, and I'm going to be playing around with it some more just to try to see what else I can do with it. So this is the next thing in progress, as well as the chicken coop here. But this is going to be a kale bed, and as you know, kale is very winter hardy. It doesn't need any protection at all, although I'm probably going to most likely have some type of sunbox top for this, just in order to be able to regulate it, and if I decide to plant anything else in there as well, I can do that. But this will be a kale bed, and this is all scrap lumber that I picked up at the Home Depot for 50 cents. All of this plywood was pre-cut, and I just like to see, what types of things are out. I don't have to cut anything, then that's even better. I'm kind of accident prone, so if I can, keep the power tools at minimum, then that's always good. But there are times when the right tool is needed for the right job. So now that I've shown you that, I think we're pretty good for this week. And next week I'll be catching you up on my worm bed. It's not fully functioning yet, but we'll be getting the worms this week. And so that'll be ready to go, and maybe we'll even have some chickens. And I'll also update you on the rabbits. We have some rabbits that we're raising for meat, and just trying to do the most with the space that we have and be able to provide the freshest, best ingredients to myself and my family. That's my goal here. And so I hope you'll join us next week. Thanks a lot. Bye.